Right, Kevin. So, a couple of things here, right? So, we have that octave diamond thing that I was talking about. So, really good little exercise for just finding your way around the fretboard quickly and just finding kind of the right note or whatever note you're looking for on whatever octave, right? So, best way to kind of to finger it is we'll start off on A, right? So we've got middle finger, then up 2 frets, down 2 strings. So we're going 6th string, 5th fret, 7th fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G string, and then 5th fret on the E again. So and so on, all the way up the scale, right? So and it's it's good for the bit of reach as well. It's a nice kind of alternate picking pattern down, just straight down up down up down up all the way, and just keep a note even when you're doing a scale, like so A, well, A sharp maybe, A, B, C, D, and so on. Just keep whatever note it is in your head as you're doing it. So then there's the other little thing, which is just kind of a quirky little kind of thing that pops out of the music theory of augmented chords, right? So there's your first major third and augmented fifth, right? So all it is just the fact that whenever you bring down one of these notes, you get a major chord, and whenever you bring up one of those notes, you get a minor chord. So there's your A shape, that, there's your E shape, come back here, and then there's your D shape. And so bringing them up, this one, there's your E minor shape. This one up, that's your D minor shape. And then you bring this one up, that's your A minor shape. Weird. And as well as that, the way diminished 7 chords, right? They're sort of, all the notes in them are 3 semitones apart, regardless, with no exceptions, which means that, B diminished 7 is the same chord as D, F, so on. The same is true of augmented chords when you take them up 4 frets at a time. So there's... Okay, so just a little weird thing about augmented chords. And one more is that where would you use them? So one nice spot to use them is in the 5th degree of a major key. So, and what was it? Yeah, that little bit in Something Stupid where, it's just a line to me, it never seemed so right before. 2, 3, I practice every day to make some, and so on, right? So it's kind of sweet there. So then the other thing we were talking about was alternating bass, kind of a little way of doing that. So first of all, just that arpeggio at the start of El Paso, or those arpeggios I should say. So you can kind of see where it comes from there. There's D major. So we're just taking that bit, 5th, 1st, 3rd, 5th. So we're going up here with the E minor arpeggio, A minor shape, adding in that 4th. Then we come up here. This is happening over an A. So that's, just show you the frets there. Then so you've basically just got an A, a D major 7 shape there. Okay, so out of West Texas, down El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. So the idea here is that instead of picking the right bass note every time with your thumb or the plec, you kind of you let your left hand take care of that, so you can just do that and hit the right bass note every time. So you start off the D like this, kind wrapping, getting your thumb around those two. Then draw the thumb back a little bit to expose the A string and use your little finger to cover the D. So E minor. So every time I'm just kind of hitting the first three, or well, the last I should say, 3 strings, and just making sure any ones that I don't want are covered. A. So again, get the thumb here, cover that one. Little finger, or third finger should do the job here. So then the G. So here all I'm doing, holding down the G chord as normal. I tend to, this is just me now, but I tend to block this one anyway. Particularly when I'm plugged in, I just find it a bit too muddy, that major third interval down that low. So then I just take the weight off of both of these, and all that's left then is the D. Now the reason I'm not using this one is because it's a third and I want first, fifth, first, fifth. First third is not bad, but first, fifth is a much more solid way of going about it. So D7. Okay, so you get the idea anyway. Missed a few there, but so the point is just to kind of find a way to mute all the other bass strings, so that you don't have to pick out the right one. You can just hit all of them and only get the one you want. So that's pretty much it. So try it with a couple of other chords as well. C is easy enough. All you have to do is kind of switch back and forth here, or you could play it like this, and then just kind of selectively take the weight off each one that you don't want. So you see the way, got that covered now, and that one covered. So it takes a little bit of practice to get it smooth so that you don't have to think too much about it, but it is a really nice handy way to add a little bit of just kind of melody into the chords, because alternating bass is really fun to listen to. It sounds kind of old-timey and silly, but it really does work. There's a reason why it's kind of a cliche like that. So see how you get on with that anyway. Talk to you next time.